This is a carnewscafe.com podcast quick sip.
This is Aaron Turpen at carnewscafe.com, and today I wanted to talk about my chance to take the 2014 Nissan GT-R Premium on the racetrack. The GT-R is the epitome of what a Japanese supercar should be. It's beautiful, powerful, and exudes Nipponese excellence. It's a 3.8-liter V6 and uses a direct overhead camshaft configuration with 4 valves per cylinder and sequential multi-point electronic fuel injection. That translates to a 9-to-1 compression ratio in a 95.5 by 88.4 millimeter bore stroke. At near maximum RPM, the Nissan GT-R churns out 545 horsepower, and it has a beautiful mid-pitched exhaust notes from its twin pipes that just grumbles out like a supercar should. All that muscle is controlled by a 6-speed dual-clutch sequential transmission that's controlled by magnesium paddle shifters. The all-wheel drive GT-R has final drive ratios of 2.937 and 3.7 front and rear respectively. Braking, should you think you need it, comes from premium Brembo 6-piston and 4-piston monoblock calipers and an advanced anti-lock brake system with EBD. Steering is at a 15-to-1 ratio, so it's about 2.5 turns to make a full left-to-right sweep. With Bilstein shocks, progressive rate springs, and large diameter hollow stabilizer bars at both front and rear, 2014 Nissan GT-R Premium is definitely track ready. For the novice driver, the GT-R is intimidating, but it shouldn't be. This is a car made for amateurs to learn and experts to take to the checkered flag. For the rest of us, it's just pure fun. Tuning the satellite radio to Sirius XM liquid metal seems almost mandatory in this car. Anyone who's driven on a racetrack before knows that acceleration is only one part of an overall equation. The Nissan GT-R has acceleration in spades, but it adds to that excellent handling, which is thanks largely to the low slung weight distribution, all-wheel drive, and the excellent suspension tuning. And it has a presence that gives the driver a sense of confidence behind the wheel. Our track for the GT-R was the High Plains Raceway just east of the Denver International Airport. This is a high-altitude track on which we had a soft turn that goes into a quarter-mile straight on one end. After a couple of warm-up laps to familiarize myself with the track, I was ready to seriously challenge myself. I knew I wouldn't be actually challenging the car because, face it, I'm an amateur. The GT-R is a powerhouse of awesomeness, and I barely qualify as an amateur race driver. The car's top speed is about 193 miles an hour according to Nissan, although there are others who have seen 195. Because of the altitude, the top speed of the GT-R was probably a couple points lower than that, somewhere in the 190 range. My top speed was 170 on that straight. Other drivers with more experience who drove the car that day were able to get over 180 in their runs. The Nissan GT-R wants two things out of the driver. It wants the pedal pushed down and the steering wheel held firmly. It will take care of the rest if you let it do it. It powers around corners at speeds that most non-race drivers would find impossible, taking 90 degree at over 60 miles an hour in my amateur hands, and though that produced a lot of G's, it didn't even create a hint of spin in the car. The happy squeal of the tires and satisfied grumble of the engine told me it would be comfortable bending it faster than that. Again, all-wheel drive and a beautiful suspension make all the difference. The Nissan GT-R has proven itself in professional hands around the world as a formidable supercar, besting many that are at far higher price points. For an amateur like myself, it proved that it was a superior experience that will not soon be forgotten. This has been another podcast Quick Sip with Aaron Turpen, Senior Editor at carnewscafe.com.